Hello, 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 and welcome back. It's Chris. I'm in the cellar. It's Cellar Chats. We're talking weekly wine flights. I missed y'all last week, but it was Valentine's Day. There was a lot happening. I was out of the country. I know. I'm jealous, and I went. I had a really lovely time in France for a whole week, which was just the word of the week was spectacular, and it pretty much describes everything. But I'm back this week. We're talking weekly wine flights, and we got some fun stuff. We're doing Alpine Wein. That's right. I spelled it the German way. Wein. I may have misspelled it. If I did, please tell me. I will fix it. Now, for all intents and purposes, the first wine isn't really super alpine. It's not from a high alpine, Alps mountainous area. But I do think that Germany does get lumped into the Alpine style of wine, and a lot of the vineyards are very high elevation, steep slopes. Anyways, we'll move on from that. We're kicking it off with Das Glitz, which has a really fun and exciting label. It's a Pét-Nat. It seems super hipster, which it kind of is, but at the same time, it's really classic. It's really clean. It's really fresh. Very excited to share that with everybody. Off to Austria for Herman Moser for the Rosé. And then down to my beloved Italy for Wilhelm Walch, their Prendo Pinot Noir from the Alto Adige region. Let's do this. Whew. I did that kind of quick because it's not super duper cold and I was afraid it might be a little too active. But look at that. Look at that lovely live action bubbles. So good, so fun. All right, so this is Das Glitz. This is a project. Wow, that smells amazing. A project from the importer, which is Communal Brands, along with a really historic estate based in Germany. I want to say they're in the Rheinhessen, if I remember correctly. It is mostly Riesling, dry Riesling, with a little bit of Müller-Thurgau. Done Pét-Nat style. It's not disgorged, so it does have a little cloudiness to it. But one of the things I really liked about this wine when I first tasted it, and that I think everybody's going to like, is that it doesn't have that, this is not a bad thing, but it doesn't have that, kind of funky edge that some Pét-Nats can have. This is really clean and vibrant and fresh. And I know it's not super warm out, but it is 65. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. I think this whole week's going to be like this. This is a great way to be like, hey, I'm ready for spring. Because I think most people are. On the nose, citrus, minerals, a little bit of apricot. Just vibrancy all day. Wow. Really great texture on the palate. Again, I don't have this wine super duper cold, but I can imagine it being cold. It is going to have this lemon freshness. And it's going to do that thing that a really well-balanced, well-made lemonade would do, only this has alcohol. It's not sweet. Please don't take it as being sweet, but it's just going to be bright citrus, really refreshing. It's got bubbles. What else more can you ask for? It is really lovely. Please come and try it. I think you'll love it too. Yeah, nice little, almost like a slightly floral characteristic on the back end there. Really great. Again, that is Das Glitz, their Pét-Nat Weisse. All right, moving off to, or down to Austria. We're kind of making our way south into Italy by the end. This is Herman Moser. Really interesting estate. Has a history that dates back 300 years. That's right. This estate has been a functioning winery. They're in, the website said the 26th generation. My math did not work with my brain. That made my head hurt. But anyways, this is 100% Zweigelt from Austria, which I think makes really fun dry still reds. They can be a little peppery and spicy, lighter, fresher, but they make really lovely rosés. Here, again, wow. Ooh. It's a really intense, bright raspberry, almost strawberry character. Really lovely minerality to it. Just gives you that freshness that just makes you want to drink it really fast. Ooh, wow. So I've never had this one. so much flavor on the palate. Again, I don't have this wine super cold. I know, just not well prepared today. But this is fruity yet complex and balanced. There's great texture. It's not just a one-note rosé. There's a lot happening here. This is really lovely. I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect it to be bad, but this is quite lovely. Hats off to you, Herman Moser. Well done, my friend. It's a nice, it's a really nice, like, kind of stepping stone. We go from very citrus, very mineral, bright, clean, fresh, into this lovely kind of rounded, but fruity and easygoing rosé. And then we're going to end with the Wilhelm Walch, which is the original state, which then became Elena Walch. Now, they do continue to exist as separate estates, but all vinified by the Walch family, by Elena and her 2 daughters. They do all of the work in the wineries, but they keep the Wilhelm estate separate, and that's mostly purchased fruit. Elena Walch is all estate grown. They work exclusively with sustainably farmed vineyards for the Wilhelm Walch production, but some of it comes from outside of Alto Adige, so this is not labeled as an Alto Adige wine. Whew, trying to get a lot out there. 100% Pinot Noir, or Pinot Nero, as they would call it in Italy. From high elevation, like cool climate area. Again, we are really just south of the border of Austria. And historically, at one point, this whole area was part of Austria. It's obviously now part of Italy. It's a whole dynamic. It's a thing. Doesn't matter. The wine's lovely. Raspberry, blackberry, a little bit of like pepperiness, some licorice maybe. Kind of like very crunchy wild blackberry, I think. Kind of gives you that like green edge, but not in an unpleasing way. Yes, that is what Alpine Pinot is about. Darker fruits, very cool fruit on the mouth. A little bit of herbaceousness. So this is not your like, kind of like, I wouldn't call it dense, but like your very impactful aromatic style of like Pinot Noir that you might find in like parts of Germany or Burgundy, per se. It kind of falls in that category of like a little bit between Burgundy and, well, maybe not even Burgundy, just a little bit between like French Pinot and California Pinot. A little more density, a little more fruit than the French Pinot. Again, we're generalizing here, but a little cooler, a little more herbaceous than a lot of California. This is a lovely, lovely wine. And what a great way to start out your week. Come hang out, have a really cool Alpine wine flight, eat some cheese, eat some food, have a good time, share with your friends. Cheers, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in.